Hi everyone, I'm Matt from Looking to Bitcoin, and today we're going to be looking at the metrics that have marked the price bottom for Bitcoin in every major cycle. To do this, we'll be using a number of resources that are all freely available on lookintobitcoin.com, your number one source for Bitcoin information. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. So right now, we're just on the Looking to Bitcoin homepage, and one thing we actually noticed quite recently is a few people have been tweeting regarding one of the main indicators we have on the Look Into Bitcoin site that has been incredibly successful in marking the price bottoms for BTC. So in this example here, I've just isolated this DGen Spartan tweet who tweeted using some of our charts, and specifically this one, the price forecast tool chart, where he's found the two key metrics within that have been incredibly accurate at not only marking the time, but also the price that Bitcoin is likely to bottom. So if we just go to the price forecast tools chart here on lookintobitcoin.com, you can see that this chart is actually made up of multiple metrics. So if we just isolate to the balance price and the CVDD, which is the two we're looking at here. So we'll remove the top cap, delta top, and terminal price, which on their own have been great for marking the tops in Bitcoin's price. But right now, as things are looking rather bleak, we'll have to focus on where we could bottom out. So if we just look at the CVDD, this stands for the cumulative value of coin days destroyed. Now, coin days destroyed is using some on-chain data to not only account for the amount of Bitcoin that is being moved on-chain, but the amount of time it was held in a wallet before it was transferred. So for example, if I had one BTC and held it for 10 days before transferring it, I would add 10 coin days destroyed to this metric. So the cumulative value of coin days destroyed is collating all of these coin days destroyed from all Bitcoin wallets and then aggregating that and multiplying that value by 6 million. So this 6 million is a bit of an arbitrary number, but we can see historically this has been a very accurate tool at calling the Bitcoin bottom in price. And we also have the balance price, which is similar, taking into account the transferred price. The transferred price also using the coin days destroyed metric, but then once we have that coin days destroyed, dividing it by the current market cap of Bitcoin and multiplying it by 21. So all of these calculations can get a little maths intensive. We have done a video specifically on the price forecast tool on our channel previously, or if you go onto the Look Into Bitcoin site and just scroll down, we have more maths and information regarding all of these metrics a little more in depth here. So once we have this transferred price, we are subtracting that from the realized price, which is the aggregated price of all BTC on the network and the price it was last transferred at. So once we have all of these mathematical numbers and metrics, we can actually use these to come to the balance price and the CVDD. So as you can immediately see, and as a number of people on Twitter have pointed out, these two, when used in unison, have been incredibly accurate for calling the Bitcoin bottom in price. We can see here in every single instance, in every single Bitcoin bear cycle, these have not only marked the exact bottom in price, but also with a fairly high degree of accuracy, can also mark the time at which we're likely to bottom in price. So if we just take a look at the 2015-2016 bear cycle, for example, we can see here that the Bitcoin price bottomed out almost exactly around the CVDD and balance price. And it almost bottomed out exactly as these two lines actually crossed over. So not only can we use these tools to actually see where might be a great area to pick up some really discounted BTC and what might mark the actual price bottom for Bitcoin, but once these two lines cross, it can actually mark with a very, very high degree of accuracy when Bitcoin's price will likely bottom out. So if we look at the 2017-2018 cycle, we can see almost the exact same instance, where once these two lines cross, we're within just a couple weeks of Bitcoin's price actually bottoming out, and we can see price actually bottomed out just a few $100s away from where these two lines predicted. And right now in the current cycle, we can just isolate it here by seeing that price has actually just dipped beneath the CVDD line and actually just touched the balanced price. So one thing on Look Into Bitcoin charts and many other on-chain metric sites that you have to take into consideration is that these charts are only looking at the closing price of Bitcoin, rather than looking at the absolute highs and lows of price that can happen intraday just with all the volatility we have. This is only looking at the close price. So we can actually see here on November the 9th, where Bitcoin closed at around $15,900, the actual low across most exchanges was about $15,500. And if we look at the balance price at that time was again about $15,600. So we did actually just reach or slightly dip beneath that balance price. And we actually got the crossover on these two metrics again just a couple months ago. So maybe this is indicating that Bitcoin has either bottomed in price or we are incredibly close to reaching this bottom in price, especially if the previous cycles are anything to go by. It's definitely not a bad area to try and accumulate some cheap Bitcoin for the next cycle. So just to summarize, the price forecast tools chart, and specifically the CVDD, which is the cumulative value coin days destroyed metric, and the balance price have successfully predicted every BTC price bottom, as well as fairly close to the actual timing in which they bottomed as well. We can also see that both of these metrics use on-chain data, so take into account Bitcoin's fundamental value and actual network utilization, rather than just the short-term speculation and news events that can sometimes drive Bitcoin's volatility. We can also see that this tool is now actually indicating that Bitcoin has potentially bottomed in price, or if not, that we are probably very close to a Bitcoin price bottom. And we can see dollar cost averaging in at these levels has historically provided outsized returns. If you like this video, then please visit lookintobitcoin.com, where you can also consider becoming a site subscriber to gain access to live chats, in-depth newsletters, indicator alerts, private trading view scripts, and more, all for a fraction of the standard industry price. And don't forget, tweet at us, lookintobtc is our Twitter handle, or just leave some comments in this video down below. I look forward to reading and replying to all of them, and just to get your opinion on where we may be in the current cycle. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.